Hello, Jamie East. Welcome to The Truth in My Opinion.
Thanks for having me.
Not at all. The pleasure is literally all mine. How are you?
I'm good, man.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Very hot. I think we were filming in the middle of a volcano.
We literally are. It's becoming a running theme on this podcast. I think we pick the hottest day of the week that also happens to be the hottest day of human civilization to record in, I'm going to say, quite a stuffy living room. Jamie, the question I ask everyone who comes on this podcast is the most important question anyone has ever asked. Are you a newsy person?
Do you know what I am, actually? It goes, I mean, I'd have to do, I work at DMG, which is the Daily Mail Group, so that helps to be a newsy person.
Yeah.
My first ever job was at Sky News, and I was 23, working on like the worst shift pattern in the world. Putting graphics up. You remember old school news where they used to have the square graphics that went to the side of the newsreader?
Oh, yes. Yeah,
and it would change on every story.
Yeah.
That was my job.
That was you.
And also changing the weather maps behind the weather person. Like I used to have a push a button.
That's a physical thing you had to change.
I would imagine it's all AI now. But back in the day.
That's like sort of like live PowerPoint presentations.
Exactly that. Yeah. No one knew their way around a map of Kosovo like me, mate, at 4:00 in the morning. I'll tell you that.
How did you get that job?
It was just a blag, really. I mean, in those days, you just kind of got a job. It was just like, do you know what I mean? I don't really recall.
Like doctor, lawyer, the person who does the PowerPoints on the news.
Yeah, exactly. And it was my first. I'd been in a punk band for years before that, and that had ended in disgrace. And had found myself with 2 children, unemployed. And I was like, right, okay, something needs to turn around now. Managed to wangle this job, and thankfully been pretty much employed ever since, really.
Fantastic.
Like, absolute blank the whole, for the next 27 years.
Now, Jamie, you've brought 4 fantastic headlines for this week's show. What I'd like you to do first is to deliver in your best newsy voice the headline you've brought for our Patreon subscribers.
Okay, great. Okay. Sky owner announces £1.6 billion takeover of ITV's broadcasting arm.
That's a fantastic news.
Like 1950s.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
My name's Kenneth when I use that.
Kenneth from 1950s news. Yeah. Very, very good. So, I mean, if you want to know what that story's about, head over to Patreon and search the Truth in My Opinion podcast and subscribe.
Yeah, dip your finger in your pocket.
Dip your finger in your pocket, for God's sake. Jamie, let's get into the meat of this week's episode. Could you please deliver your first headline?
Biohacker Brian Johnson reveals shocking health diagnosis about incurable autoimmune disease.
Fantastic headline.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell me what it's about?
So just to clarify, you know who Brian Johnson is. He's not the singer of AC/DC.
No.
It's the other one.
Yeah, so I know who Brian Johnson is, but for anyone who doesn't, why don't you start from the top?
You will know Brian Johnson. I will preface that by going, oh, that weirdo.
Exactly.
So Brian Johnson is the guy that has spent millions and millions of pounds trying to make himself immortal, basically.
Yeah.
Or certainly he wanted to live to 200, I think it was.
Was that his target?
Something like that.
Yeah.
But has done, in my opinion, nothing other than make himself look extremely strange and have an extremely miserable existence.
Yeah, I think many people will know him as the guy who used his son's blood. Yeah, he transfused his son's blood.
All of that,
and he measures his own erections.
Yeah, he's got a spreadsheet with his bonus spreadsheet.
He's
somewhere.
that guy.
Yeah.
So, but he's called Brian Johnson.
Yeah.
He's that guy.
Yeah. So, who knew? None of that has worked, and very sad that this has happened. But also, come on, no one's immortal.
No,
what a waste of time. So he, trying to eliminate death, has revealed that he's got this thing called autoimmune gastritis. Basically, his stomach is eating him.
Yes. So this is it was like
revenge of the stomach.
Yeah. I mean, the irony of this story is, I mean, there's so many levels.
Yeah.
But he had his own medical team, right? And he said in this, he's made an announcement on X, which kind of also shows a bit how out of touch he is. Get off X for starters.
Don't make medical announcements.
Exactly. Do not make medical announcement on X. We're better than that.
Yeah.
And he said he rehauled his medical team, who literally he hires around the clock to monitor every single part of his body. He rehauled them at the start of the year, and his new medical team discovered this autoimmune disease.
It's the most Kendall Roy thing ever, isn't it?
It is.
Do you know what I mean? It's like there's the scene where Logan Roy, no, I don't want to spoil it. There's an episode called Connor's Wedding.
You don't want to spoil a program that came out 5 years ago.
Well, you know.
Come on, Jamie.
But Logan Roy gets into some bother on a plane, right?
Yeah.
And Kendall Roy immediately is just like, first of all, he wants to speak to the pilot, and he can't speak to the pilot. He's trying to turn the plane around, and then he's like, "Get on the doctor, Jess. Get on the doctor. Get me the best heart doctor in America. Then get me the second best heart doctor in America. Patch them through 2 minutes, okay? It's that kind of thing where it's just
that thing,
and it's that, and what's quite sad about it, but also hilarious about it, is that it doesn't matter how rich you are.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how influential you are. It doesn't matter how meticulously you have planned.
Yeah.
Nothing can prepare you for health. There is nothing you can do about a large portion of diseases.
Yeah.
No amount of lifestyle choice, no amount of diet, no amount of taking those fucking gold tablets that are advertised on Instagram by Rylan. You know, none of those things are going to make fuck all difference in the grand scheme of things when all of a sudden you get cancer.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, I learned that last year. I got diagnosed with chronic myeloid leukemia, like completely as a fluke. Went to the doctors with a sore throat, took a blood test while I was there. He said, "I'll speak to you in a month and it'll be fine." Phoned me up 8:30 in the morning on the Monday morning, and I was like, okay, well, doctors don't generally phone you up just for a chitter chat. And he just said, "Your bloods are all over the shop, mate. I don't know how to tell you this, but I think you've got leukemia." I was just about to go to Glastonbury.
Oh my God! What straight? Is it the first time he called you back, he said he thinks you had leukemia?
Yeah. It was so I went private for this consultation. Right, I went to an ENT guy. Otherwise, I'd still be waiting for the GP appointment now.
Yeah, you still on hold.
I'd be dead. Probably.
Yeah, fine.
And like skeleton waiting by the phone, like you'd see in like Beetlejuice or something.
Just getting berated by a receptionist.
And so he had to phone me up to tell me to go and find an oncologist, a hematologist who specializes in blood cancer. Like 8:30 in the morning, I'm holding my bag ready to go to work. We're supposed to go to Glastonbury that evening, and I was just like, oh fuck. I was like, okay, what do I do? And he was like, you need to find yourself. I was like, how? He was like, I don't know, Google it. So
Google it from the doctor.
So I genuinely had to Google, like, you know, you go like hot singles near you. I was like, how about hot hematologists who specialize in leukemia near me? First one that came up, phoned them up, and they're still my consultant.
No way.
Yeah, mad. Absolutely mad.
Was there? I can't imagine there was a large selection.
We've been amazed. It's like, you know, everyone, you always think you've got like one hospital near you. There's hospitals everywhere, right? And they've all got different, you know, different selling points and like all different kind of clinics and stuff like that. So it depends how specialist you want to get. And so my point being to Brian Johnson thing is, it wouldn't have mattered. You know, at first I was like, oh, fuck. Was it all the drugs? Was it the drugs? You know, was it the cigarettes? Was it, you know, was it that weekend in Croatia?
Yeah.
You know, all of those kind of things. It's like, it's not hereditary. It's not a lifestyle choice. You know, sadly, you just get fucking cancer.
So that was your type of cancer is just a kind of freak mutation.
Yeah, it's just a mutation of two genes called the Philadelphia chromosome. Just two DNA genes in my bone marrow just swap. And this is, and then it causes like an overproduction of white blood cells, which then affects your immune system and affects, you know, and that's what leukemia is. And, you know, mad, absolutely mad. So there was nothing I could have done about it. And also I've been walking around with it for years. It was insane. So my point being is that, like, it wouldn't have mattered if I'd have had Brian Johnson's second medical team, you know, or, you know,
the one that got fired.
Yeah,
they are looking for work.
Exactly. They're on LinkedIn.
You might get them on cheap now, actually.
He's not on the reference list. He's like, there's like this gap in your resume.
You're not getting the job. It says you used to work for Brian Johnson.
It wouldn't have made fuck all difference.
Yeah.
No amount of spreadsheets or anything would have made any difference. I might have caught it earlier.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't have stopped the proliferation of it. It wouldn't have changed the treatment of it. So
tell me about, what is that treatment?
So mad, right? So if I had a friend that I went to school with who was one of my best friends called Alan, and he got leukemia, I think I'm going to say probably late 90s, early noughties, and he didn't make it. and he didn't last. He lasted a couple of years and died.
Wow.
In about 3 or 4 years after that, some amazing like super brain people invented something called a TKI, or discovered something called a TKI, which is an inhibitor basically, and it now means that I'll die with this cancer rather than because of it. Touch wood.
Yeah.
You know, don't know why I touched the sofa there.
Yeah, it's not a wooden sofa.
So
and that's just purely those medical developments that happened 3 or 4 years after your friend died.
Yeah. So it's super new, but it has kind of changed everything. I think we'll probably talk more about that kind of stuff in a bit.
Yes, we've got a second headline.
But my point with Brian Johnson is, it's really sad.
Yeah,
obviously, because anyone with that is, it's also something so tragic about it, right? Of course he was never going to get hit by a bus, was it? It was always going to be something that proves the great thing that we all kind of know, but everyone's terrified about. Is that most of the time there is nothing you can do.
No, and the kind of added irony of this is that the condition he has is like incredible. It like hides itself, which is why it's only been discovered now. He kind of had a medical team rehaul. I mean, I know we joke about his old team being shit. That's actually not the case. I don't think. I think it's just more like there are actually diseases out there, like you say, that you can't really cheat, and it's not about hiring a bunch of people to monitor you 24/7. Like you say, it's just freak things that mutate,
and also symptoms. Early symptoms of dreadful diseases are exactly the same as things that we get every single day. So the symptoms for leukemia are fatigue, or a bit of bleeding, or your gums bleeding, or night sweats. I don't know if you've ever done fucking Molly at Glastonbury, but fatigue and night sweats are pretty common occurrences, so it's like...
And I'm imagining that's an experience you had to forego on that, you received the call. Did you still go to Glastonbury?
No, I wasn't allowed to.
No, okay.
I had to go on lockdown, but I've been in recovery for 9 years, so I'm allowed to joke about it. But I remember those days particularly well.
Yeah.
But a 50-year-old man going to the doctors because he feels a bit tired.
And
can't sleep very well. It's like, okay, mate, my heart's fucking bleeding. Get to the back of the queue. So it's diseases are really insidious. They know how to lurk, and as Brian has found out. So I wish him all the best. But like, mate, just go to McDonald's. Like, have a wank. Go to McDonald's. Relax. Like surely this will change him.
Okay, Jamie, thank you for that brilliant first headline. Could you please now deliver your second headline?
Certainly can. It's another light-hearted one. Scientists discover an unexpected way to make pancreatic cancer cells self-destruct.
Okay, it's a sciencey episode.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like I'm doing the Bad Blood podcast. It's all about cancer.
Yes.
So, you can't avoid it, sadly.
You can't.
So, but it doesn't have to be morose. It's not a sad one.
Hey, listen.
There's enough sad cancer stuff out there.
There is sad cancer stuff, but I cannot tell you the lack of scientific nous we've had on this podcast. Well, so this, if anything, is a goddamn relief.
Yeah. Just to clarify, before I start on this story, do not take any of my advice. I'm a patient, not a doctor. Right.
Okay. Well, on that note, why don't you tell me what's this story? It's quite incomprehensible. But...
So I sent you this link from Science Daily, right?
Yeah.
Because and the reason for that is because it's virtually unreadable. But the headline is everywhere, right? So if you type in pancreatic cancer cure into Google, you'll get stories from every mainstream kind of place and all the blogs and all so all the news sites have covered it and stuff. But they all get their news from like these Science Daily websites.
Yes, they're like the Science Reuters.
Now, basically, they found a compound that blocks something, that does something, that triggers a chain reaction, that if you've got pancreatic cancer is really good news.
Yeah.
I think that's as sciencey as we need to get, because it's not really the reason that I chose the story. Obviously, it's great, and I went up to Glasgow in January, Leukemia UK, who are a great kind of like charity, like when they found out that I'd got it, because I'm such a gobshite. Where have you even got cancer if it's not on Instagram? And
Yeah,
so
the leukemia community must have been pumping their fists when you got it.
Thank
God!
Thank God a gobby twat has got it rather than like a 6-year-old
Finally,
who can't sign away the GDPR. You know, it's like so.
Finally, we'll get some airtime.
Exactly that. Exactly. So so I went up to the research centre in Glasgow, which is like the epicenter of cancer research for almost the whole of the world, right? Mad.
In Glasgow.
In Glasgow, yeah, the University of Glasgow. And I met these two researchers who work on CML, my particular strain of leukemia, full time. They have these labs there. Well, when I say labs, I was walking in expecting to be like, you know, the scene from Jurassic Park where they've got like the rubber gloves through the glass.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Pipettes of glowing kind of like things where it's just like, holy shit, we've got a breakthrough. There were 4 guys in there. I think one of them was playing Tetris, just on a like a Windows PC. It was not what I was quite expecting.
Gosh.
However, they're doing God's work.
Okay.
And
you say so.
And I sat and chatted to them, and the reason why this is relevant is because we all see these stories about new cancer breakthrough discovered, and we never ever hear another thing about it. Right?
Yes,
because it's kind of like, hanging about. I swore that we cured this. Yeah, have we cured this? I guarantee. Like, and this thing about pancreatic cancer is a case in point. Is that yes, it's real. Do not expect it to happen in your lifetime, right? And I think this was quite a humbling kind of chat that I had with them. Was that obviously funding is a nightmare for them anyway. So they rely on charitable donations, they rely on fundraisers, all of that kind of stuff. But their main battle is attracting talent, right? To help with the research. Because it turns out that clever people are just clever, right? They're not necessarily clever in just one particular avenue of life. They're just fucking clever.
Yeah.
So these researchers and these professors are battling against Google and Meta and AI companies and all these like San Fran tech bro startups who are kind of enticing these clever kids to come and work for them with promises of like water slides in the office and like $500,000 and sushi chefs in the canteen, all of that. And all these guys have got to offer is a Windows PC with Tetris on it in Glasgow, which is and also not $500,000 a year. So it requires a massive level of egoless kind of like control, right? So it's insane. Also, even if like we talk about breakthroughs and eureka moments, they never happen. It is always tiny incremental improvements and discoveries leading to another, or elimination of things. So we know that doesn't work. Okay, that's generally how they find things out, just by the process of elimination and incremental percentage improvements on tests and all that kind of stuff. So if there are any breakthroughs like this pancreatic cancer self-destructing these cancer cells breakthrough, it's unlikely that the researcher that found that, or the doctor that found that, will be alive to see that come into fruition.
Really?
So
that's how incremental the developments are.
But also it's just how long the timeline is for these things to actually come into fruition, right? So imatinib, which was the first iteration of the drug that I take, was one of the fastest drugs to ever go through clinical trials because it just worked so well. Like it has side effects, but nothing that's like ultra damaging to your health.
Yeah. And
even that took decades to get through. It was rushed through, but it's a glacial pace that they have to do.
Yeah.
All of the clinical trials that go to human trials, that go to this, that go to FDA, that go to before they end up being passed to the general kind of like hospitals and doctors, right?
Yeah.
So it requires two things, right? It requires researchers to go, I'm not going to take the Google money because I want to do good. It requires them whilst they're doing it to realize that they still should, work their fucking nuts and tits off to do this, even though they may not be around to ever see the benefit from it. Right?
That's mad.
Then it also requires patients like myself to take part in clinical trials when I'm already on some medication that is saving my life. So it requires selflessness on both sides. So if this professor phoned me up and said, Jamie, amazing news, we think we found something that's going to get you there quicker, or that's going to have 30% less side effects than you're getting, because I'm at risk of like fluid on my lungs, of kind of like heart problems, of lots of like my toilet is a war zone, all of those kind of things, right? And that's just like they're just side effects from the medication. But do I want to risk taking an unknown pill? I mean, heaven forbid I should take a pill off a stranger. That's that's something I've never done in my life. But to do that and sacrifice the thing that I know works, so it requires this kind of this amazing level of just selflessness.
Yes, well, there's a risk
because you're paying it forward for your grandchildren ultimately, and I found that absolutely wild.
And so that's what you're on. You're on a clinical trial now.
No, I'm on the old NHS. Just fill me up with the good shit, I probably would, given half the chance, because I find that kind of stuff interesting.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't kill me.
Yeah, I mean, this is always something like that has struck me about like medical trials and things like that, where you're like, there's this hyper experimental medication, and you're like, who the fuck is going on that?
Students.
Actually,
it's usually poor shit, but you always think of it as like, oh, it's just something that's going to give me a bit of a rash, or you don't think of it as actually you need people with the diseases that you're going to treat.
Yes,
it's always, you kind of think it's like, oh, it's a new diarrhea relief pill, or it's a new this, or it's like, they've tried it on the mice, it didn't kill them, they're going to see if it kills me now. But actually, when you're getting into the nuts and bolts of like serious kind of like medical cures and treatments, you can only try that on people that have actually got the fucking disease.
Well, exactly.
Which I just, of course that's the case. You can't just like find some rando student. Excuse me, do you want to take this leukemia job? Well, I can. I still won't have it at the end of it. So congratulations, it worked. Maybe, I don't know.
This student doesn't have leukemia. Brilliant. But Jamie, you've mentioned your podcast, Bad Blood. Do you talk about what? Do you want to sort of tell us a bit about what you talk about in that? Podcast series?
Well, spoiler alert, I'm still here, so it's not got that much of a sad ending. Well, depending if you like me or not. Like ultimately, I've been broadcasting a long time. As you have. You rarely turn off, right? It's like, and actually, I find it a lot easier. I've never been able to journal. Like writing stuff is just an absolute faff. I can write it if there's a gun to my head, but I find it a lot easier just to talk, and I'm perfectly comfortable talking to myself. That sounds a bit weird, but like, or if you podcast, you're used to just sitting in a room, just talking into a microphone. So when I got diagnosed, I found it a really useful, and genuinely didn't really think that I'd use it, because I didn't really know what it was going to end up sounding like. Not exactly full of lols, right? But kind of about 10 days after I got diagnosed, I was stuck at home. I couldn't go anywhere, couldn't see anybody, because my immune system was just so fucked, because I was then on like quite a hardcore chemotherapy for about 3 or 4 weeks to get my blood count down. So I couldn't I couldn't share glasses with fat members of the family. I basically lived in the garden for a month, inside, undercover.
Gazebo.
But so I just turned on the microphone and just started talking about it, just to kind of process it in my own head, and just to put it down, because it's depressing, but it's also massively interesting. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, it was quite a fascinating thing to go through, terrifying, but fascinating, because it's, we all at some point lie awake at night wondering how we're going to go, or wondering what's going to happen, feel like we're chancing it a little bit, like if you have a good year, like I was, and this is maybe a bit self-defeatist, but like, it's why I get so depressed at Christmas time, I think, because I always use it as a bit of a reflection. It's like, and I can't think, well, that was a fucking great year, well done. I always think, yeah, I've chanced it. I'm really chancing my luck here. Something bad is gonna happen soon. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, so I'd lie there.
Closer to
I've got
catastrophe.
I've got parents that are getting older. You kind of like, all of that kind of stuff starts. Never one, and you always hear the stat, and 1 in 2 people are going to be affected by cancer.
Yes, yeah.
I always just thought, I feel sorry for the other fucker. And it turned out it was me all along.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That other fucker's absolutely, again, fist pump in the air.
Brian Johnson, the bastard. And so it was just I found it really therapeutic to kind of because it's not just about the illness, right?
Yeah.
There's the illness and the treatment and the terror of dying. But you kind of get used to that quite quickly. It's quite weird. Like the first day is horrific, obviously. The first week is like quite procedural because you then get swept along in this medical world that you know nothing about. You're having to cram as much information, non-scary information as possible in your mind without terrifying yourself by Googling it. So before you know it, like you're 3 weeks in and it's like, holy shit, I'm on chemotherapy. It's like mad. It's like I'm not allowed to piss in the same toilet as my kids because I'm literally nuclear. So it's things like that where you're just like, oh my God. So I just started to talk about it and get it out. But then when you get past the immediate kind of like terror and the immediate kind of like horror of bone marrow biopsies and all these kind of things, then you're just left in with your feelings, right? And then it's, how many people have like messaged me to see if I'm all right? It's like, that fucking, oh my God, it's like, what do I have to do to get a phone call of that twat? Do you know what I mean? You're just like, all of a sudden you're just like, Jesus Christ, I sponsored that twat's fun run. Do you know what I mean? And your mind just starts going like fucking doolally.
Really?
So yeah, you just kind of like, friendship was quite an interesting part of it, and how people treat you, and like it's a scary thing for everybody, right?
Yeah.
Immediate family, obviously terrifying. All of your family, then it's like it's an upheaval, right? Everyone's unsettled. But then there's your friendship groups, and actually, in hindsight, there is no right or wrong way of people responding because everyone's got their own relationship with illness and their own relationship with cancer or their own relationship with someone who could die. Everyone has different reactions to that. So it's kind of unfair of me to kind of go, well, like you say, I sponsored that twat's fun run. Where's my fucking grapes? Do you know what I mean?
And my grapes.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Where's my sympathy? Hang on. Like, hang on a sec. Have I not built up enough kind of like credits here in the bank to at least where's my Make-A-Wish? Where's John Cena? Like,
did you not get taken to Disneyland?
I did not get taken to
Disneyland.
Oddly enough, the first sign of the illness was when I was at Disneyland.
No.
Yeah, I was in Miami.
So you'd already done it.
I'd already done
That's why they didn't take you.
But and then I was in hospital. I was on a drip in the chemo ward, which is awful. Like I had to stay in the cancer ward for a week. And genuinely horrifying experience, like awful, like really, I'd got a little bit blasé about it then. And I went out for a day, went back into the office for a day, got an infection got dragged back into hospital within a day. And I stayed in there for a week. Genuinely, you go to sleep on a ward and you wake up and there are empty beds. It's horrible, right?
Oh my God.
And I was on there and looking at TikTok, and a trailer for Diary of a CEO came up where one of the guests was like going, hey, have you got blood cancer? Have you tried going outside? I'm just like, you can't. So like then it led me into this kind of like rabbit hole of anger and about how we talk about wellness online and how when you're at your lowest ebb, you will look anywhere for hope. And the worst place you can do that is online because no one's actually... There is no agendaless wellness offering out there,
Yes, and the worst place, I mean, I think maybe second worst place is online. The first worst place is Diary of a CEO.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Okay, Jamie, can you please now deliver your third and final headline?
Sure. Wonderwall is the perfect anthem for emotionally constipated England.
Okay. We're doing a 180 now. We're into the land, from the land of science to the land of sort of carnal, animalistic screaming.
Yeah.
World Cup. Wonderwall. What's the story?
So, I'm not a football fan, but you can't help but have seen this weird tradition that has popped up out of nowhere, where every World Cup team seems to go stand in front of their home team or their home crowd at the end of every match, and a song that epitomizes their nation is played, and they all stand linked in arms, just in a really long, awkward stare at the fans whilst this song plays out, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Of all the fucking songs in the fucking world.
Well, do you know what it's replaced?
Sweet Caroline?
Sweet Caroline.
I mean, the only other song worse than Wonderwall.
Exactly. Everyone is sort of a bit confused as to what. Like, you sent me an article from the newspaper, and this.
Well, it's paywall, so, but I didn't.
Yeah, it is paywall.
The Wonderwall paywall.
Yeah, Wonder paywall. But yeah, it was this journalist. I wrote her name down, Sarah Carson. She tried to sort of philosophize on why this song has been selected. And did you see at the end of the article? She was like. Some of the lyrics, she was like, "There are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how."
Yeah.
And it says there is
because
no
I'm
anthem.
A footballer.
There is no anthem more English than that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, actually, that is quite English, isn't it?
Yeah.
A bit like what you were saying about your friends, not being able to send you a nice text message when you got your diagnosis.
Yeah.
They're singing Wonderwall at the World Cup, aren't they?
I don't even think they think about the word. It's just noise to them.
Yeah, you might be right.
It's just like it's any song, right, that gets the hairs on the back of their arms standing up a little bit. It could have been Eye of the Tiger for all they care.
Yeah. That would have been a lot better.
Oh, I mean, Eye of the Tiger would have been great. It just feels like, do you know what? Had the Oasis reunion not happened last year, it might have been okay. But it feels like we've been battered by that song for the best part of fucking 15 years now.
Do you think if the Oasis sort of reunion didn't happen, do you think? Well, I don't think it would be Wonderwall. I think it would be something else. Do you not think that the Wonderwall anthem is a product of that?
Well, it would have been Sweet Caroline.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's true. I noticed there was a Guardian article. I did some digging, trying to find some sort of solace in this story.
Yeah.
And there was a author and broadcaster called PJ Harrison, he's the biographer of the Gallaghers.
Right.
And he said the song made such good terrace material because of the ambiguity of its lyrics and the simple and familiar melody. What is a Wonderwall? I'm not really sure what it is, but I can sing about it, and it can be whatever I think it is.
Well, a Wonderwall's taken from a George Harrison song called Wonderwall.
Okay,
right?
Here we go.
And say, what is a Wonderwall? That is a line that Fran Healy used in Writing to Reach You by Travis, which was a rip-off of Wonderwall. So in Writing to Reach You by Travis, Fran Healy sings, "And what's a Wonderwall anyway?" And they actually nixed the chords from Wonderwall.
No fucking way.
Fact fans.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what do we still know what a Wonderwall is?
No, well, George Harrison came up with it. So it's a Beatle. He can do whatever he wants.
He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, I mean, but there's ambiguity in every lyric Noel Gallagher has ever written because his lyrics are shite.
You're gonna tank this podcast if the Gallaghers hear about this.
Well, fuck it. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
I mean, what's he going to jump off his wallet?
Well, actually, funnily enough, Liam Gallagher wrote on X again. He says, Wonderwall belongs to the people. And it was a magical moment between the people and the players. And rightly so. It's a fucking classic, and I sound biblical on it.
I mean, it is a great song. It does.
You can't backtrack now. You just said Noel Gallagher was shite.
No, his lyrics are shite, but it's a great song. It just has nothing to do.
Okay.
It doesn't. I just don't think it represents Britain
Yeah.
in any other way than it being like the number one on the greatest ever songs that Radio X do on Bank Holiday Monday, every Bank Holiday Monday. You know, there must be better British national anthems. Sweet Caroline's not a British national anthem.
Well,
anyway.
exactly. I mean,
Neil Diamond's American.
Exactly. So I mean, it is an improvement. If you were to suggest a song to the England supporters, is there a song you believe encapsulates the sort of England spirit?
I don't know. Slade, Come On, Feel the Noise.
Yes.
Now, come on.
I can get behind that.
At the end, see, that would imagine And actually, ironically, Oasis did a fucking great cover of that.
Oh, there we go.
So, but like,
we could soft launch that anthem with an Oasis cover.
But like, it's glam rock. It's got a better. It's fucking upbeat, and it's like, come on, feel the noise. Yeah. Imagine that in the States. That would that would be good.
That would be good, actually.
Doesn't have a fucking cello solo in it. That's for sure.
That would be good. There we go. Well, I think we can open up a petition to get "Come On Feel the Noise" by Slade as the official England anthem. Maybe for the next World Cup.
Yeah, come on, Noel, acquiesce.
Come at us, Noel. Your lyrics are
shite.
Well, Jamie East, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thanks, I've really enjoyed it. Thanks for having me.
I'm so glad. Could you just remind the listeners where they can listen to Bad Blood? It's
absolutely
currently out. Am I correct in saying that?
It is. It's audio only. Sorry, fact fans. It's on Spotify and Apple. That's literally it.
Fantastic.
Well, actually, it's probably on Amazon and those like Podbean things.
Yeah, they'll pop up.
Who knows what? Who even knows?
And yes, you have another couple of podcasts.
I do. Oh my god, I've got fucking loads of them.
You're a podcast.
Tales from the Celebrity Trenches. I do every week, which is if you're into your celebrity news and your gossip and big celebrity interviews, that's a good place to start. Done a great one with Simon Cowell. Done G.K. Barry. I've got Richard Bacon coming up next week. I'm off to America to do a few kind of Hollywood stars.
Okay.
Just good old fashioned filth and celebrity gossip.
Jamie, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.